Luke, Mark, Matthew. We haven't seen those things being manifest in front of us. But guess what? Hey, we're still believed because the Most High, before we even born, hey, He put the faith in us, man.
Yeah, for the world.
Hey, He put the faith in us. Hey, and the scriptures say that what? Hey, the just shall live by faith.
That's
Even
right.
that, isn't that what it says in the book of Habakkuk? Right. Hey, so the Most High said, blessed are those that have not seen me, but yet still believe. The Messiah said that, Salaki. Right. So that's what He mean, and that's what He meant in John the 4th chapter when he said that neither in this mountain nor at Jerusalem you shall worship Him. But the time come where the true believers shall worship me in spirit and in truth.
All right, worship Him, you know, like the brother said. You finished with that? All right, you want to jump back to Josephus?
Yeah, I'm going to jump back into Josephus, right. But I'm going to start at, I'm going to go to chapter 13, book 13 and chapter 4. It says, chapter 3. So Onias took the place and built a temple and an altar to the Most High, like indeed to that in Jerusalem. And this is talking about the Jews that were in Alexandria, Egypt.
Yep.
It says, like indeed to that in Jerusalem, but smaller and poorer. Yep. I do not think it proper for me now to describe its dimension, or its vessels, which have been already described in my 7th book of the Wars of the Jews. Yeah. However, Onias found other Jews like to himself, together with priests and Levites, and there performed divine sacrifice. I ain't even gonna say that. but we have said enough about this temple, because the nigga already crippled. So I ain't gotta put no curse on it.
Like David did to the what's
right,
name of the field, right?
Right. It says, now it came to pass that the Alexandria Jews and those Samaritans who paid their worship to the temple that was built in the days of Alexander at Mount Gerizim did now make a sedition one against another and disputed about the temples.
Why does this a rivalry of the temples, man? The Mount Gerizim, why does this keep coming up? Why? You know? Go ahead.
Before Ptolemy himself, the Jews saying that, according to the law of Moses, the temple was to be built at Jerusalem.
That's right.
And the Samaritans saying that it was to be built at Gerizim. They desired, therefore, the king to sit with his friends and hear the debates about these matters,
right,
and punish those with death who were baffled. You know, so basically, if a person, whoever's telling the truth, let them live, but whoever's telling the lie, let them be put to death.
Right. And that was during when what the brother said in Egypt. That was during the time of Ptolemy, what you mentioned, you know. Now
Sabius and Theodosius managed the argument for the Samaritans, and Andronicus, the son of Musulamus, for the people of Jerusalem. And they took an oath by the Most High and the king to make their demonstration according to the law. And they desired Ptolemy that whosoever he should find that transgress what they had sworn to, he will put him to death. Accordingly, the king took several of his friends into the council and sat down in order to hear what the pleaders said. Now the Jews that were at Alexandria were in great concern for those men, whose lot it was to contend for the temple at Jerusalem, for they took it very ill that any should take away the reputation of that temple. So they were concerned that they wouldn't speak about it in great glory, you know, to the point that the temple would maintain its reputation. Because at that time, everybody throughout the known world at that time knew about the temple at Jerusalem. Hey, and what proves that? And you got Heliodorus that was sent there to take money out of the temple. Where did I leave off? It says, now the Jews that were at Alexandria were in great concern for those men, whose lot it was to contend for the temple at Jerusalem. For they took it very ill that any should take away the reputation of that temple, which was so ancient and so celebrated all over the habitable earth. And what proves that it was celebrated, if you go back to the previous chapter that we quoted, when we were talking about how the Samaritans would, when Israel was in adversity, they'll be against Israel. But when Israel everything was going good, you know, they'll say that they were Israelites. When you read in that chapter, even Alexander himself did a sacrifice in the temple.
That's right.
Because they had read out of the book of Daniel that he was the one to take down Darius, the king of the Medes.
That's right. And they had to continue to stay in good standings because it was a transition of kingdoms, of empires at that time.
Right. And if the Most High put a king over you, if he had another kingdom come upon you, fall upon you, you had to follow that. You had to do what the Most High told you to do. You know, you had to stay in there. You know? And you still had to try to worship the way.
That's right.
So, because according to Romans, the 13th chapters, it says that the Most High set up the kings. You know, he set up the rulers. But it also says, and it doesn't mean that you should follow the customs, laws, and statutes of whatever kingdom that is. Because like this kingdom, right? This kingdom is for homosexuality. But the scriptures is the Lord in the scripture says that homosexuals should be put to death. That doesn't mean that you go and celebrate homosexuality. That just means that you continue doing the work of the Lord and whatever the Lord bids you to. But don't be trying to fight to take down that kingdom.
That's right.
Because that kingdom is set up by the Lord. The scripture says that the rulers are not a terror to good works, but a terror to the evil.
That's right.
Like in Baruch.
So Antiochus or the Grecian Empire, they were set up to destroy the wicked people of the nation of Israel, as well as all of the other wicked nations that were on the outskirts of Israel. But to finish up, it says, which was so ancient and so celebrated all over the habitable earth. Now when Sabius and Theodosius had given leave to Andronicus to speak first, he began to demonstrate out of the law and out of the successions of the high priests, how they every one in succession from his father had received that dignity and ruled over the temple, and how all the kings of Asia had honored the temple with their donations, and with the most splendid gifts dedicated thereto. But as for that of Gerizim, he made no account of it. And regarded it. And regarded it.
Man.
Wait. Check this out. Check this out. Hold on, wait. I gotta find it again. God. It says, but as for that at Gerizim, he made no account of it and regarded it as if it had never had a being.
Right, like it ain't never been.
By this speech and other arguments, Andronicus persuaded the king to determine that the temple at Jerusalem was built according to the laws of Moses.
That's right.
And to put Sabius and Theodosius to death. And these were the events that befell the Jews at Alexandria in the days of Ptolemy Philometor. So they got put to death.
And that's how look, the Lord is not no bocce boy. The Lord is not no just I love everybody. That's how the Lord gets down, man. It's not he wasn't no mean guy in the Old Testament being a good guy. He was killing niggas in the New Testament too, man. He was killing niggas now.
He killed them in
of course, he don't play no games, man.
He was a death angel.
You know?
But it was violence that had to be.
Well, exactly, because it's called something called indignation, righteous anger. That's what the Lord has. When somebody disobeys us, he displays something called righteous anger. You know, indignation, and he judges them for it. And that's what it is. It doesn't matter. We all are not in. None of us are innocent. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about the Most High. Period. He don't change. If he tell his servants when we took over the land of Canaan, what did he make us do? He made us go and basically we went on a conquest. They called it the conquest of Canaan.
It was a cleansing.
Right, that's right.
Basically, it was a conquest of Canaan. We was going around and killing people that were living unrighteously, and the Lord gave us That's why he told us to go and kill them, because they was living unrighteously. He's not going to tell us to go and kill somebody that's doing something good.
Not only that,
you know what I'm saying? So pretty much,
you're saying the same thing that he's saying.
Yeah, but what I'm
now
saying
this is the antiquity of the Jews. Okay. This is
that was going on.
This is book 12, chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at well, what did you say? Excerpt. Excerpt 257. It says, when the Samaritans saw the Jews under these sufferings. Now this is talking about the time that Antiochus, which is recorded in the scriptures.
That's right.
And it's this right here validates that it's true.
This is history.
And
right
Antiochus Epiphanes was the abomination that maketh desolate. You know, so what he did was, in the book of Daniel, he went and defiled the temple at Jerusalem. Now this is right here is going to get into how the Samaritans saw that and what was their reaction to it. It says, when the Samaritans saw the Jews under these sufferings, they no longer confessed that they were of their kindred, nor that the temple on Mount Gerizim belonged to the Almighty Power.
Imposters, man. Right.
It says this was according to their nature, as we have already shown.
That's right. Just like those people over in our land now claiming to be Israel. They're Jewish. They wish they were Jews. We are the real people of the Lord. So our people gotta shed off this Americanized shit. Our women gotta get in order, shed that bullshit off too, and our men need to get in order and shed that bullshit off too. Come back to the Lord before you get fucked up. That's plain and simple. Because he got judgment coming to America. This is Mystery Babylon, so-called Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah. Hey, if you want to stay in your perverseness, go ahead and do that. But it's going to be judgment that comes with that, you know?
This was according to their nature, as we have already shown. And they now said that they were a colony of Medes and Persians. And indeed, they were a colony of theirs.
Yeah.
This was according to their nature, as we have already shown. And they now said that they were a colony of Medes and Persians. And indeed, they were a colony of theirs.
Yeah.
This was according to their nature, as we have already shown. And they now said that they were a colony of Medes and Persians. And indeed, they were a colony of theirs.
Yeah.
So they were really Medes and Persians.
Yeah. Mixed.
It says, so they sent ambassadors to Antiochus in an epistle, whose contents are these: to King Antiochus the God,
Right.
Epiphanes, a memorial from the Zidonians. But and that goes into what Ezekiel the 28th chapter. For thou believe that thou art God. You know, because Antiochus thought that he was a god. Until the Most High made his intestines fall out his asshole. It says, so they sent ambassadors to Antiochus in an epistle whose contents are these: to Antiochus the God, Epiphanes, a memorial from the Zidonians, who lived at Shechem. Our forefathers
those are Canaanites, huh?
Y'all gonna have to grab the scripture. It says, so they sent ambassadors to Antiochus in an epistle whose contents are these: to Antiochus the God, Epiphanes, a memorial from the Zidonians, who lived at Shechem. Our forefathers
those are Canaanites, huh?
Y'all gonna have to grab the scripture. Cushites. Y'all gonna have to grab the scripture.
Talking about 2 Kings?
2 Kings. Yeah.
I got a question.
You got a hold.
1 second. We're gonna finish this and then we'll take your question. All right.
It says, our forefathers, who upon certain plagues, as following a certain ancient superstition, had a custom of observing the day, which by the Jews is called the Sabbath. And when they had erected a temple at Mount called Gerizim, though without a name, they offered upon it the proper sacrifice. Now upon the just treatment of these wicked Jews, those that managed their affairs, supposing that we were of kindred to them. Now they saying that the Jews are saying that they were of kindred.
You're right.
They're trying to say that the Jews claimed that those Cushites that was put in the land were Jews too.
Yeah, just bring them in.
Yeah, just bring them in a little bit.
It says,
Those are black people.
as is evident.
Hey, hold on.
Supposing that
Chill out. Wait a minute. One second. Well, no, it's on this dude, man.
You want attention?
Man, she corrected this nigga. Man.
Yeah, you want attention.
No.
That's not
Go ahead.
necessarily true.
Yeah, it says,
That the Cushites are the devil.
it says, supposing that we are kindred to them and practice as they do, make us liable to the same accusation, although we are originally Zidonians.
Wow, Zidonians.
Although we are originally Zidonians.
Wow, Zidonians.